What's that sound? Daniel, are you okay? Oh!
What are you doing?
Don't. Please don't. Welcome back to Life is Strange 2. Last time, we finished up episode 4. So as far as I know, there's only one episode left. The final episode, the final frontier. I don't know anything about Star Trek. Please don't take that comment as I don't know anything about that fandom. Anyways, having said all of that stuff, let's get going. This is where I get to see the final consequence of my actions, which is terrifying and exciting. Oh, we'll get to see the summary again, too.
Once upon a time, in a wild, wild world, there were two wolf brothers living in their home lair with their papa wolf. They lived in peace
until the Fire Nation attacked. Or that. I shouldn't joke about that.
The wolf brothers wandered for days and nights, learning how to live on their own for the first time. That's when the big brother discovered that the little one was not an ordinary wolf, but a super wolf. They decided to head south to the distant land of their ancestors. But the journey was long and dangerous.
For the night was dark and full of terrors.
Still, the wolf brothers made new friends on the way. They learned more about the world. But danger seemed to always follow them after a bad accident. They were separated. The big brother had been hurt, and the hunters finally captured him.
Oh.
They put him in a cage. But when he finally escaped, he went to search for his little brother. He soon found out that the little wolf had joined a coyote cult, and he would not leave them. Suddenly, their mother showed up after all that time. She said she came to help rescue him. They begged the coyote leader, but she would not release the little wolf. He was their idol. So they had to knock her out to escape.
They seem to age the wolves as this goes on.
Now reunited, followed their rogue mother far into the desert to her hideaway.
Oh, are we still with her? At the wall? I'm assuming we're not literally just like poof at the wall, but I guess this is where we're going. Life is Strange 2 is a story-based game that highlights player choice. Your actions and decisions will have consequences and impact the world around you and your brother. Choose wisely. I've figured that out. We were in Nevada. Oh god, how far away would that be? Oh, we're Arizona now. 7 weeks after the events. Wasn't Arizona where our mom lived? Oh, her hideout. I guess that makes sense. Her home. Is this the Grand Canyon? Is the Grand Canyon in Arizona? This is like a quiz on my geography knowledge. Spoilers, I guess, not great. Scorpion is like, I'm gonna get you. I'm assuming at this point we don't have to clean our eye as much. It's also probably a good thing that we grabbed our brother's jacket. No more bowl cut.
Wake up, Sean. Dude, come on.
What? What time is it?
You growing facial hair, my dude?
Get up. It's so beautiful. Check it out.
We are very close to the edge. Beautiful, but daunting. Also, terrifying.
So?
Yeah, okay. Good call. Wow. That's amazing.
Looks like less facial hair now, from a different angle. That does look cool.
Is your eye okay?
Yeah. It just itches. It's okay, Nano.
Probably means it's healing.
Promise.
Yeah. Okay.
They've been through so much.
No matter what happens. You hear me?
Yeah. I love you too.
They didn't say that a lot in the beginning of the game. They seemed closer. Don't roughhouse too close to the edge of a fucking canyon.
Brothers. Always.
I suppose being all you have left at a certain point could bring you closer.
So, are you still having those bad dreams? You know, about Lisbeth?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like she's around, coming after me. It's scary.
That's haunting. She's scared or she's lucky. I think it is good that we have a close enough relationship with our brother that he can talk to us about his dreams, instead of it being closed off to where he doesn't share those things. Because there's a certain level of vulnerability that comes with sharing this kind of stuff. I feel like if we say that she's lucky, that's almost like saying, you know, she's lucky she's not here, or we'd get her. I guess that's how that sounds. So I feel more like saying she's scared.
Dude, I bet she's having nightmares about you.
Yeah, but she's still out there.
That's true.
Somewhere. Creeps me out.
We're together or she has no power. I like saying we're together because essentially that sounds more like saying our power is being together, not just his power. Because that was the thing that ultimately ended the whole thing with Lisbeth.
Listen, we're far away from her, okay? We're together again. Safe.
Hope so. Sean. Are we
Press X
criminals
to
now?
doubt. Honey, I hate to tell you this, but we've been criminals since the start of this game. Since Seattle. Sort of, or no? That is such an interesting question. Because we technically have. We have been criminals since the beginning of the game. I don't know how much Daniel knows about that, though. There have been things that we have protected him from. Like, best example, I guess, is the fact that their dad was dead. Like, we protected him from that in the beginning of the game. So how much did we protect him from knowing the fact that we were criminals? I think he knows somewhat about it because he knew that we weren't supposed to go out when we were living with our grandparents. But I mean, like, whatever happened at the church, like, that shouldn't make us more of a criminal, I guess. We didn't start the fire. That's a song. We didn't start either one of them. Our mom started one, and the other one was an accident. Granted, that doesn't stop the Reverend from telling the cops that we did start the fire. I recognize that. But also, like, the stuff with Seattle, like those charges, I'm far more concerned about than the fire stuff. So I guess being honest and saying sort of feels better to me than just saying no.
Sort of. We did a lot of illegal shit. If the cops catch us, we'll be judged for what we did. That's for sure.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. I know.
Judged.
Well, we're almost at the border. Finally.
I like it here, but we'll have to leave soon. I know.
I'm sorry, Enano.
Sean, I know it's been a long time. Can you tell me the rest of the wolf story?
That's cute. Yeah, I can tell you, or aren't you too old? don't want to say that he's too old. Like, sure.
Oh. Yeah. I can tell you. Been forever since we left off.
Way too long.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, thanks to their mama wolf, the Wolf brothers barely escaped from the coyote cult. She led them to her secret lair, deep in the Red Desert. The Wolf brothers rested for a while, but at some point, they'd have to continue their journey south. They were closer than ever to their father's land, but between them and their destination lied
A mighty fire unicorn. But she's nice, so they become friends.
Excuse me. Who's telling the story?
You are. But it's my story too, right?
So Daniel is like taking ownership for some things. If he's recognizing like, yes, this impacts me. That feels like more maturity than we've seen from him up until now. Yeah, that's true. This is my version. No, like, let's let him take some ownership.
Yeah, that's true. Okay then. So what happens next?
They arrive in Mexico, but the country is rampaged by goblins.
Wow.
Together, the wolves and the unicorn manage to slay them and become heroes. The police forgives them, and all their friends come to Mexico to celebrate.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good, Enano.
Sounds like what he
Let's
wants.
pack this shit up and head back to town. Gotta clean up our stuff before we leave. This place is too pretty.
Telescope.
So incredible to see all those stars and planets up close. It's like we're right there.
I wonder if we
could go
ever...
watch the stars again. Mom said there's a moon eclipse coming up soon.
I'm in. This place is cool. I could just move here.
I wonder if we ever hooked up with that traveling blogger journalist whose name I forget. I wonder if we ever like reached out to him again, like when we got internet again, kind of a thing.
Hey, I can help. Just tell me what you want to put in there.
You
Oh.
are the man.
So we can
God damn. That food was amazing.
have Daniel use his powers to help.
Thanks, Joanne.
I want to look before I have him help.
Yep. Still need our processed sugar in this hippie desert. Yo, Captain Can you take these away?
Sure.
Perfect formation.
At this point too, it feels like I have taken so many choices in this game where I didn't want Daniel to use the powers. There's a certain element or a certain point where it feels helpful to train the powers, but then Daniel would use them all the time. And Daniel wouldn't see that using the powers had its consequence, where it was almost like, let me use them behind people's backs. And it felt, I guess, selfish. But when I think of the idea of selfish, it makes me think even more about this idea of not seeing the consequences of our actions. And that is age appropriate. Totally. I think there's probably a reason why a lot of these like comic books and movies are like, yeah, mutants or whatever don't get their powers till they're puberty, right? Teenager. Because then we don't have to sit here and think, how do we sit with a 9-year-old, right? I realize kids hit puberty at different ages, but like, how do we sit here and try to talk to a 9-year-old about like, your actions have consequences, and let's think about people who are more than yourselves, right? It's different developmental ages and different things that we're talking about. But if Daniel is really starting to see that his actions have consequences, I don't see the powers as such a bad thing anymore, because then we can have these conversations about like when you use your powers in X, Y, and Z ways, or if so-and-so sees your powers, like this is what it means for you, but also for other people. When we would try to have those powers before, it was like we would get an eye roll, or it was almost more like, well, it doesn't impact me, so it doesn't matter. But this is like, it's only been 7 weeks, maybe actually a full year at this point. When we take into consideration the time that we were in the coma and the hospital and all that other stuff, it feels like a different kid. It feels like a significantly older kid who is taking accountability for things where, yeah, you're still a kid, still do kid things, but you actually do regret what you do. And you do recognize that your actions impact others, that there's a certain ripple effect. So at this point, using the powers doesn't feel as bad, I guess. Wrong button.
Let's clean up this mess.
Not if it cleans up by itself.
Stop. Daniel.
Can't catch it, huh?
No shit. Now cut it out.
Jeez. You're no fun.
I mean, like, that, of course, still feels like a kid thing. As you do. It just doesn't feel, I guess, as bad as some of the things from earlier in the game where, like, we didn't know how our grandparents would react to the powers, and then you're doing it literally right behind their back. Or, like, we finally can go out into the backyard, and then you're doing it right there. Or some of those other kinds of things. Or, like, literally right in front of a neighbor kid. Some of that kind of stuff just doesn't have the same feeling, especially when you would try to talk to Daniel about it, and Daniel was like, yeah, I totally understand, like the eye roll type of a reaction.
Pretty useless with the crazy moonlight we had. But it scares the coyotes away. Activate flashlight and no funny business.
Of course not. On the way.
Of course not. Oh. So, oh, we don't have everything.
Every star looked the same. Until we used Karen's old guidebook.
My back hurts a little. I swear Dad had the same book in the garage.
Yeah, I think he did.
Why did he never show it to us?
Maybe it reminded him of Mom too much.
That makes sense.
Oh. Yeah, right.
Ooh, our sketchbook. What do we have in here? Do we have anything before this? Okay. Anton got picked up by a trucker not far away from Haven Point. I was nervous, but the guy was sweet. Even hooked me up with a sandwich. Really needed that boost. Okay, Daniel has been brainwashed by a cult. He wants to stay with them, and I fucked up with this reverend. I just fell right into her trap. I'm so stupid. Also, Karen, what the fuck is she doing here? How did she find us? Don't want anything from her. Nada. Ooh, that art with Daniel right in, like, with the reverend behind him. That's some good imagery. Karen wants to talk. It's hard, but I'm trying to hear her out. Not sure I'll ever understand what she's been through or what she's after, but I can try. You know, at this point and earlier, we were really getting on ourselves for how we had no depth perception and we couldn't do art anymore. The sandwich with the halo and the wings. But so this art looks very similar to the earlier art. We got Daniel, finally. The freak guru can go to hell now. Feels so good to be with my bro again. Leaving Haven Point, Karen's taking us to her place. We need to breathe, sleep, heal. Blah, 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 blah. Sarah Lee, this needs to go. Where is that? Oh, it's a snot bubble sound effect. Karen lives in a desert commune. No shit. An unincorporated community, she said. It's called Away. Only 30 people live here off and on. This place is so weird, but the desert is mind-blowing. The perfect hideaway. Daniel's still feeling so confused, guilt-tripping a lot. He can't figure out what happened. The brainwashing, the lies, Elizabeth's grasp over his trauma. Doing my best to help him recover. They should be fine now. Karen is a big help too. She's good with words. That letter from Jacob and Sarah made him happy. Daniel needs more friends, so do I. Sean, we posing. It's cute. Forming some amount of relationship. Trying to untangle the mess from the manipulation. Total trip to be alive with Karen. Again, she wants to move on. That's easy for her to say. I'm trying. Daniel's getting better. I can see he loves having mommy back. Wow. To call her like anything related to mom or mommy, I imagine is huge for them. Daniel's power is no secret here. No one gives a shit. Wow. To not have to hide it. They just go along with it and don't see it as something they can use to their own advantage. Refreshing. Or who's gonna tell? We already have a batshit crazy sand people. That's fun. Oh, that sounds like such a breath of fresh air. Like at that point, why not stay there? So this place away is what you make it. Joan haunts it with cool sculptures made from scavenging scraps. She's a cool and sunny woman. Karen's closest thing to a best friend, it seems. Cool as heck, ornamental tattoos. Take my time today. That's cool. Arthur and Stanley live in one of the only proper houses in town. They built it together 10 years ago. Damn, from ruins of their past lives. These two can't stop teasing each other, but they're so inspiring. Old couple, young love. That's sweet. Got a letter from Cass today. What? Feels good. Would love to hang with her again someday. The wink. This place makes me want to draw. Could stare at these canyons. I almost said crayons. Forever. Oh, some of Daniel's art. Daniel needs to vent out. He's been having nightmares about Haven Point and Lisbeth for weeks. Still feels guilty about my eye. Need to find ways to help him process this. Therapy's probably a great choice. Putting that out there. But then I imagine it would be hard to find a therapist that you could be honest with and say, hey, I have powers. And have them believe you. Karen told us about a cool camping spot. Reached the top after a long hike across the canyon. Track sessions feel like forever ago. Need to work on my cardio. Don't fall, mate. Ursa Major. Man Horatius. Probably the best view ever. Gonna stargaze all night thanks to Arthur's telescope. Daniel seems happy. So like these simple things in life. That's cool. Straw.
Ooh, sketching time. Good idea.
Also like a whole community of people that you connect
Glad
to.
you can still draw after. You know.
Me too, Daniel. But if I can see it in my mind, I can still sketch anything. Almost.
We'll see about that.
Very funny.
A challenge.
Smartass.
I'm kidding.
Like at a certain point, aren't we all smartasses?
Hey, can you draw me as a superhero? Like, striking a pose over the canyon.
Badass or chilled?
I can try.
I mean, when I think of superheroes striking a pose, I think of badass. So let's go with that. Oh, I gotta look up.
This power is so cool. I love tie-dyeing stuff now.
Tie-dyeing? That's the power that you're talking about?
Ta-da. Finished.
Let me check it out. Jeez. Do I really look that evil? He looks more like a supervillain.
I was trying for badass. I'm sorry. I should have gone with chilled. I didn't mean to offend you. Can I draw it again? No, I cannot.
Well, let's hit the trail, cowboy.
wonder if that's how Daniel sees himself, considering the eye incident and almost this idea of too of like whatever things happened within that religious group. It's almost like, well, I must be the villain then. What's that sound? Daniel, are you okay? Oh!
What are you doing?
Don't. Please don't. Careful where you drop that thing. Don't play with scorpions. That just sounds like a bad idea. No time to play or don't do that. So, do we chide him about the scorpion? Like, playing with it in general? Oh, it makes me nervous. Oh, it makes me nervous. So, do I chide him about playing in general? Or how he's playing? Let's say don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What the fuck, dude? Don't do that.
What's
do that.
wrong?
Stop messing with it, man.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, little guy. Don't get eaten by eagles.
Super far
Do
away.
eagles eat scorpions?
Super far away.
Here.
Cool. Let's go.
Super far away.
I wish we saw more falling stars. Or any.
We saw the Milky Way. Don't piss when they fall.
Hey, we saw the Milky Way, dude. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's true. And Mars. That was so cool Arthur and Stanley let us use the telescope.
That is cool.
Yeah. These guys are real cool.
What do we do? Oh, we can discuss it.
Amazing that anything can grow out here.
Does it ever rain in the desert?
Well... Oh. Good question.
I like how he starts to answer it and then it's like,
Think Joanne will let me help her
I
with
don't
the sculpture
know
when we
the
get
answer.
back?
Hell yeah. You're like the magic assistant.
What's
It's nice to be able to use my power out here.
this shiny object?
Hide it.
Now what the hell is that? Yeah. Karen was right.
What is it? Can I get it?
Daniel?
I like the
I
shiny
see
things.
something behind this rock. Can you bring it over?
And there are magpies in the
Ah,
desert.
Gotcha. I see. Here it comes. Ooh, look at that. So cool.
Yep. We're taking this treasure.
I'm a pirate now. Full on, I have the treasure. I have the eye patch.
Where were we? Yeah. Karen was right. They're all cool with it.
Pirate.
Mom doesn't say much about my power. Why do you think?
She's in denial. She doesn't care. She's confused. She doesn't care.
Maybe she just doesn't care.
You think?
Karen is kind of like that. Like a hippie. She just goes with the flow, man. It's all good.
She's weird like us.
I hear you.
Just, I don't think going with the flow makes you weird. I feel like the other two choices that I had there didn't sound great.
My legs are gonna be like yours after all this hiking now.
Hey.
What does
need
that
help getting
mean?
Down?
Dude, I got this.
Okay.
See? Easy peasy.
Until you fall on your ass.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Don't fall into the fucking canyon. This feels very unsafe.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, look, look.
And
Oh,
what?
Man, I just saw a cool baby lizard.
Yeah. And you scared it.
I know.
Looks like a job for
I feel like earlier in the game, Daniel would have been like, no, you scared it.
a local super psychic boy. So, maybe you can help us get out of here?
I'll try. Step back.
Be super careful.
This feels like an interesting contrast to like all the times we've seen them argue and fight like super early in the game.
I hope it's okay.
Like when their dad was alive, where they could not stand to be around each other. It's very different now, where they're like actually saying I love you, and they're actually like communicating and talking to each other and like asking for help.
Nice, man.
Complimenting each other. It's a huge contrast there. Are we gonna go back to away? I think that's kind of where we're headed. Oh, wow. It really is just a sort of gathering? How would you get supplies out here? This is also the shortest that it's taken for them to say the title of the episode.
Hey, I'm gonna go see what Joanne is doing.
Go.
Joanne, not Joan.
I have to bring
Joanne.
back the telescope to Stanley and Arthur.
I know to look for the only real house.
Went to town for weekly supplies. Some pancakes left in the kitchen. Back soon.
I want pancakes. Just put a telescope in your back pocket, Sean. I want your magical back pockets.
Daniel, you copy?
Yes, I read you. 10-4.
I have a pancake alert in the kitchen. Repeat. Pancake alert.
Whatever. Joanne has waffles.
10-4.
When you put
No flying pancakes today.
butter in the little like spaces of the waffles, and then you put syrup on it. Crops. Wait, what can I can? Oh, I was like, what are we doing with Daniel? We can still talk to him through the walkie-talkie.
Karen practices what she preaches. She barters with her food. Not money.
Hey, lettuce. Give you some water if you give me a good crop today. I don't think they meant bartering your food in that way. I think they meant taking the food and giving it to another person and bartering with that person with the food, not bartering literally with the food. Makes more sense that way.
Excuse me, water boy. Did you remember to feed the crops?
I never forget. Ask Mom. But no way I could grow stuff like she can. Maybe in Mexico.
Oh yeah. We can grow a lot of stuff there.
How would you get land for crops?
We could also try to be self-sufficient when we're in Mexico.
I suppose you're learning how. The souvenir? Yeah, souvenir. Oh, there's so much stuff to look at.
Nice mess. Daniel will never change.
I mean, there's also no consequence for his mess here. So, I mean, or the only consequence impacts him, not others. So, I mean, at a certain point, if he's not bothered by that, then who cares?
Karen taught me some cool off-the-grid shit.
Is that a water? Oh, yeah, that is a water filter. That's cool. My brain didn't process the words at first.
Still can't believe she's kept it.
Wow. From when he was a kid.
It's nice to play games with Daniel again. Huh. Karen likes to join us too.
I bet. We have it here. We can take the USB key. Have we had that from the very beginning? We can do something with it too. Interesting. I can't look at the backpack though. Poems. Let's look at the poems.
Arthur and she's really good at rewriting her own life.
I'm a solo Mobius strip. Just when I reach the end, I go back to the beginning. Resign myself to new faces, the privilege to escape and rewrite another draft. Goddess laughs at plans, then shows me the page left unmarked for years. Out in Ghost Desert, the seeds return as saplings to reveal their age and power. Now I go back forward, layered with fears and hope, to water the children of the sun.
This one's pretty intense.
Don't believe.
I think I get it.
Don't believe I would find a soul within or without a church. A miracle was sleep with and food and fuck. A day without shit until it was not. Now we run into celestial spires, oh visions of the fake prophet engulfed in ego and belief. As the burning cross falls on all your cruel angels, I am the bonfire of vanity. So when the dam breaks, we all flood like glass on a mirage. If I believe. Letter. Yes.
Whoa. I hope Karen sends this to Claire and Steven.
Oh, what does this say? Hi, Mom and Dad. I've been thinking about this letter for a while, and I know it's been a long time coming, so I'm sitting here tonight thinking about the words I should have written 10 years ago. You always used to say everything happens for a reason. We fought about it then. I understand why now. There's a reason I feel like I have to reach out to you both tonight from the desert. I know you've only heard from me once by phone and 6 times by letter for almost a decade. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, and I was certainly not trying to punish you like you told me. Ooh. Don't laugh, but I just didn't know what to say or write. Poet's block. Just like you had to block me from your life after I left Esteban. I understand that was how you had to deal with a problem child. Ooh. An only child who didn't live up to your expectations. There's no denying that I failed you, but the burden, There's so much of like her true thoughts that she crosses out. Weight of your aspirations as parents failed me too. You had such a rigid opinion of what I was supposed to be that I just didn't have the opportunity to explore who I actually was. You wanted a daughter to grow up happy, find a good job, and great husband, settle down to breed. Ooh. To have kids, raise them in faith to continue the cycle of suburbia. That daughter wasn't me. I know that you were raised in a different time and culture, so I didn't understand your point of view, like you didn't understand your wayward daughter. Maybe a bridge too far for us at the time. After Danny was born, I knew I wanted to take a break, some time to figure things out in my head and heart. It didn't make sense to you or Dad. So like it was more about the mom. And we saw that before. The dad was more accepting because the dad's more like, she's still alive. She's not dead to me. And I get that, but you didn't see how I was so desperate. And only Esteban was willing to give me that time because he saw how unhappy I was. I don't blame you for my decision to leave, and maybe a timeout would have led to the same outcome. We will never know, and I try not to live in regret. My life has been a roller coaster, and there have been times I longed to hear your voices and thoughts, even the negative ones. That conflict of we love our parents, but we don't love certain things about them, or we don't love what they do, or the choices that they make. But sometimes I think that there's something deep down in us that still wants that comfort of a parent. And I know when I last talked to you in New York to ask for help and paying back my debts, you wanted to help. But it was on your condition to return right back to where I couldn't return. I hate that was our last conversation. I'm sorry I reached out to you this day. I'm sorry I broke your hearts. I'm sorry I let you broke mine for silencing me for so long. I think we've paid our dues. And now I sit under a blue field of crystal stars like the poet I hope I am, writing and waiting for a chance to rebuild an old bridge with my mother and father. I hope we can cross it one more time. Love. Cross out the word love, your daughter. That's a lot. It also says a lot that she reached out at all. Name tag. Ooh, let's look at it.
Either Karen was desperate for a job, or she loved working with kids.
But it's different to like work with kids than when we have our own. Like that feeling of being tied down Karen has talked about before.
Karen has been camping in her own house since we arrived.
Pancakes!
Karen letting us invade her space? After all these years. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember Karen would drown her pancakes in hot sauce.
No.
Ugh, gross.
Right? Butter and maple syrup.
One thing Claire and Karen have in common, their love for pancakes.
Just ate it plain. Okay. Note.
Karen doesn't even like to leave this place just to go shopping.
Well, it's not like you can get DoorDash or Uber Eats all the way out here, so, I mean... Why is this poem framed?
Karen must have been so excited to finally hit New York.
Fly by night, not by night, into the big city bright stop. That cliche never dying in the steel of the buildings, the warp of the street. But no matter what or where I spin, the pull of the million dead poets takes me to dance once again. Go, but this time I get to lead until the next flight. Oh, what was I looking at? Oh, the note. Again, I don't need to read the note like a third time.
Karen looks so young and fragile on this picture.
Oh, that's her and like her mom?
Hard times. Looks like they all finally found their home.
Is this like the group of people who all live here? Jacob's letter. Cool. So we can see what Jacob actually wrote?
I'm so glad Jacob and his sister are doing okay. They deserve some peace.
Hola, Sean. Sorry I didn't write you sooner, but this is the first time I've had a chance to relax after we got out of Haven Point thanks to you and your brother. I still can't believe it really happened. So bizarre. Sarah Lee and I do miss our parents, but we're not ready to let them know where we are yet. I get that. We will figure it out later. With the money you gave me, I could pay for a month's rent in advance for a room in a small beach town on the coast. Sarah Lee loves it. She's so much better now thanks to the antibiotics. We're doing great. The most important thing to me is my sister, just like your brother. You're lucky to have each other, and we're blessed when you both came our way. I'm trying to track down our Humboldt crew, so I'll keep you posted. I hope everybody is doing okay after that night on the farm. We all deserve a break and a better future. That's fucking fair. Please let me know when you make it to the other side. You and Daniel got this. Give our little hero a big hug. Take care, Jake.
So cute.
Oh, Sarah Lee wrote something with her art.
Looks like Lila has some competition now.
Ooh. Hi, Daniel. Hope you are good and happy. I feel so much better now. I am so happy I got to see the ocean for the first time. Even tried to surf. I think I could be good at it. I wish you were here so we could go to the beach, even if the water is cold. I love this weather way more than the heat. Please come see us soon. Thanks for being one of my best friends. Sarah Lee. That's sweet. Ooh, what's this? What am I tidying? Clothes? Clothes. We're tidying clothes. Why not? It's in the box.
She was that close. Sucks she had to pay all that money back.
So, from Press Company, June 21st, dear Miss Reynolds, pursuant to our conversation on June 10th and your inability to submit your poetry manuscript the other way to Ravensbury Press by the contracted deadline of June 1st, despite repeated efforts to accommodate you, we regret to inform you that this breach of contract means we shall no longer be publishing the collection as part of our new poet series. As stated in our section 6 of our contract, see attached copy. If the author fails to deliver the manuscript by the agreed date, the publisher has the right to recover the full amount of the $10,000 advance. Shit. We have included with this letter a repayment form and schedule. As stated in section 23 of our contract, see attached copy, the rights for your manuscript shall revert back to the author upon full repayment of the advance. Oh, so you don't even own the rights until you can pay them back. If you have any further questions, please refer them to our legal team. Wow. It's like the legal way of saying F you. We wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors.
Huh. Is that the same person who rode her back in Beaver Creek?
Hey, Rumi. Yes, I know New York in August is hot as balls. You did say that you like the heat, but my apartment under the roof can be really suffocating. Don't want to rub it in, but Aspen is my new summer home. Daily temp around 70 degrees Fahrenheit and hot tub at night. Anthony's cabin is more like a ski lodge. Next trip, maybe you can tag along. Poets Retreat, best cure for your writer's block. And please let me know when you can pay me back for August rent. It's like many problems. I definitely need it for next month and up here in Aspen. I'll see you on September 5th instead of the 4th, so put your clothes on. Stay out of trouble and remember to water my babies this time. It's like a pattern of money problems. Because we heard that she asked the mom for money at one point when she was in New York, plus the advance that maybe she couldn't pay back, plus this. But then what did the money go towards? Our bed.
So good to have a home. Again. And a real bed.
Oh, I bet. Cassidy's letter. That's bra.
I didn't realize how much I miss Cassidy's voice.
Oh, her phone number.
And
her phone number.
Dude.
Her phone number. Hola, sexy boy. No more city boy. Jake hooked me up with your P.O. box, so now you can't hide from your old crew anymore. I know you took off from the hospital. I'm glad you're still going down to Mexico. We've all been fugitives on the run, but you and Daniel are the kings of the road. I know you can finally get back home. Of course, I'm not ready to settle yet, so we're all hanging in out in Colorado. The idea, Colorado. Weed. The idea is trying to get as far away from the West Coast as possible. Too many ghosts for now. Hard to believe Finn isn't here yet to start shit. And we don't miss him for that. But he'll get a few more songs out of me. We all want to remember him for his angels, not his demons. I miss you. I would love to make a road trip out of the shithole, and it would be great to swim with you again. Swim. That's what we did. Swim. So, you better let me know when you hit Mexico, Sean. Don't make me track you down. Here, I'll even give you my number, so no excuses. Well, there we go. We have a connection. Sean's tabs, Karen's tabs. We can use the USB key. What's on the USB?
All her life possessions are in here.
Why do we have a VHS?
Dad was an absolute fan of this movie.
Horror.
Maybe they were nerds together.
Maybe that's why he kind of liked them so much. Reminded them of someone he cared about. Or a thing that they shared together. Because she also seemed to care about him. It's not that
bring the telescope.
It's not that she didn't like him or like being with him. It's just like she talked about it almost as though being tied to him was what she didn't like.
Back to Arden stand before I Man, I'm still not used to this heat out here.
Dry heat too. I imagine it's more humid in Oregon. Eye medicine. Still taking the medicine.
Gotta keep my eye lube handy. Glad I don't need it as much.
Okay, so we don't need it as much since it's healed. Are we gonna look at our mom's bra? Oh, we're doing this.
She changed my diapers, but it feels kind of awkward to be here.
Looking at your mom's bra is just inherently awkward. It just is. Why do we have that?
I wish Karen didn't tell me she got a rattlesnake out of the toilet last week.
What? We're leaving the bathroom. Let's look at the computer. Computers are safe, right? What does Karen have on her computer tabs? Jeez.
Had no
of
clue
course.
There was a network of seed pirates.
Of course there
Karen's
is.
a real life hacker.
I don't know why I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not.
Karen takes on some small pieceworks for a living.
Pieceworks?
Must pay better than poetry.
Thanks for your last advice column. We got quite a response and a lot of hits. So does she also do blogging for a living? About its desert life? Is it about like gardening and stuff? I know you don't want a social media footprint, but you could generate a lot of clicks with your insights. Looking forward to your next piece. Make sure to send your invoice for May and June. Yeah, Desert Life Weekly. Okay, I'm sorry. What are our tabs?
Brody's so good at describing painful situations.
Yeah!
And
Yeah!
seeing the good into it.
Brody! Our friend! Yeah, we did. At least, like, we're keeping tabs on him. A Tribe Called West. I don't think we actually have to read this, right? The last time I saw my mother before this year, I was telling her to leave me the fuck alone. That I was done with the whole bullshit family. My real fam were the strangers I met on the road who became friends, not my family who became strangers. Someone else is a poet. I adopted all the online connections I made around the world and all those wandering souls that I would encounter on my journeys ahead. You would be reading about them right now, except the next time I saw my mother, she was in hospice at our Utah home. Her body light and frail as a web, holding my hand, telling me that she was sorry about everything that kept us apart for most of my adult life. My mom was dying of cancer, and she was sorry. So I cried, she cried, my brother cried, we all cried. And all the family years of bullshit blew away like dust, like that. It's a very Thanos snap. I just wasn't mad anymore. I didn't know it would be so easy or so hard. It didn't mean the past didn't happen, or that I wasn't responsible in my own way. My brother used to tell me I was a fake liberal. Ooh. Because I was out trying to save the world, but he had to go take care of mom and the family estate. Maybe he was right. But I told him that he also had the money to take care of them. God damn, if I was in charge of the finances, I would have given away the family estate and we'd be broke living in a co-op. My brother knows this. It's probably why the brother handles the finances. Families are just fucking weird. Ain't that the truth? Society tells us to love your parents and siblings simply out of blood and chance, but what if they hate each other? What if you're only linked by random DNA? This idea of, is there an obligation to love our family? Or do we have to love them no matter what they do? What if, whatever, it doesn't matter. I've seen the best and worst of people everywhere I roll. You tend to have those extremes at 3 a.m. at an empty gas station or on some desolate freeway. Yes, I've seen strong families bond in hard times. I know there are big siblings out there who will always care for their young siblings and vice versa. They've helped me to understand our fragile filial ecosystem. In her last hours, my brother and I held my mom's thin fingers as she passed on to a place I hope is better than the one she came from. After she was gone, I found a stash of some old school essays and stories, the only thing I was good at in school. I never knew she kept this stuff or that she cared. Even if we never understood each other, she must have been a little proud of that I went my own way or tried to be a force for good. Mothers know how to make you cry like a little bitch. The first time tears had burned in my eyes in a long time, it felt good. So now I've come back to a home I once vowed to never return. I don't feel so alienated this time, even if I am. Like I say too often, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Now I have an estate to deal with and more responsibility than I actually want, but I have to see this as karma or destiny or the dharma of the privileged. Don't panic. But I may have taken a break from my life on wheels just to see who or what I can help now that I have more resources to spread around. I'm sure my brother will approve, insert sarcasm, if we're still talking after all this memorial bonding. Okay, it's not a happy ending, but maybe it's a hopeful one. And speaking of hope, given the sad state of the sad nation, I've been thinking it's time to move outside my comfort zone, send dispatches from places and people I'm not so familiar with, places I can explore to tell new stories, like Canada or Mexico or The Road Never Ends. Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah, I ghosted her. But so glad to see Lila's back.
Lila uploaded a new profile picture. I hope nobody is mad I've been out of touch. Brain needed a timeout. Yeah, it can happen to me too. People are such pussies. I have never been a fan of using such a gendered thing as an insult like that. But as we do, people are such pussies about mental health. If we took that out and added another insult, I would agree with that sentence. Just talk and take care of each other, for fuck's sake. Thanks for the flowers. I cried, assholes. Lila is back. This idea of, like, at least she's happy, even if it's not with us. What is on the USB key?
Whoa. I should have gone through that flash drive weeks ago.
Yeah, because we don't give a shit about math homework now. Math homework, movies and stuff, other crap. I like how the pictures is miscapitalized. Misty Mice Tickets. .pdf, yeah. Drawings.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, good. We do have some pictures of him that weren't on the phone. That would have been tragic if that was the only memories. Like, the only memories that we would have had access to at this point. Good. Okay. That makes me feel better. Swap box.
It's so cool that people want to give a second life to their stuff.
Oh. So you, like, put something here and someone else can take it?
Love the energy out here. With everyone building stuff as they please.
Yeah. Oh, is this where we're gonna... Oh no, this must be Joanne's stuff. House, place.
This place is the ultimate playground for Daniel. Joanne can throw a total rager out here. But without asshole neighbors.
Well, I imagine this would be a lot of fun for kids because, like, she probably benefits from Daniel because, like, hey, can you lift this heavy thing? But also, like, he can play with whatever the fuck he wants.
Love watching movies under the stars.
Oh, on a projector.
No cars.
Projector. Wow.
Dude, remember when you totally fell asleep during that Bollywood flick?
Because it was so lame after those cool cartoons.
Whatever. You missed Priya and Stanley teaching me how to dance.
No, I didn't. You can't dance, dude.
I mean, some Bollywood is very interesting
Glad
and
to see
exciting.
Artists are allowed to make a mess.
Yeah. Why not? Unless we're thinking of, like, perfectionism.
Karen and Joanne spend evenings playing and chatting. Kinda like me and Lila.
Hmm.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Now that things feel like they're settling down, it's like we have time to actually start to process everything that's happened
Joanne
to us.
says she needs all this junk to grow inspiration from. There's power cuts all the time here. But no one's really bothered by it. I love how they recycle everything into art, construction, or agriculture here.
Everything has a
What's up,
purpose.
Joanne?
Oh,
See for yourself.
Man, check this out.
Okay, Daniel, let's take a little break.
Got it.
That child is something special.
Yeah. I hear this one a lot. Don't worry.
Yeah, I bet. But you have your own talent, Sean. I'm dead serious.
a lot to learn. Nothing special or just doodles. Considering this character does artwork, I feel like talking about the art makes sense here. Also, like, that's what we've been doing the entire game. We've been doodling. We've been doing art. I feel like Sean probably would disagree with me on this, though. Sean talks about his art as though it's not good enough. And because it's not good enough, it doesn't count. It's like that black and white thinking of it's either perfect or it's a failure. And he focuses on the negatives. He focuses on why it's not good enough instead of why it's good. So I feel like Sean is probably more likely to look at this like, because I can't, I don't know, teleport or levitate or go invisible, like those types of very traditional powers, he has no gift, he has no talents because of like who he's comparing himself to. Instead of, again, recognizing the good things that he does have, or things that he can do. Let's say the doodles. Even that is just doodles.
I don't know. It's just doodles and shit. No big deal.
Yeah. I thought my sculptures were shit too, compared to all the dope stuff that was being done. But every artist is fucking unique, Sean. We all got something to bring to the world.
So she basically says, you are unique, therefore that is a gift, that is special. It's just as special as your brother's stuff. It's special in its own way, but it's still special. I think that can be really powerful to hear, especially from someone who is doing something that we aspire to, because he talks about her where it's like, oh, well, because she's an artist, like, because it's literally what she does, she's cool and she's special and she's allowed to be messy. Like, all these things she's like allowed to do because she's an artist, but he doesn't see himself as an artist, so he doesn't allow himself to do that. I'm not an artist, see? Why are you here now? Always an artist. So he, again, doesn't allow himself to do these things because he doesn't, in his mind, label himself as an artist. But I feel like she wouldn't see it that way. I feel like she would look at it as, why does that label matter?
Did you always want to be an artist?
Good grief, no. I tried very hard not to be one. Till I realized it was useless. Listen, if you want to be an artist, you will be. It's not always easy, but in the end, it's pretty fucking cool. Speaking of, do you mind giving me a hand here?
Oh, I don't know if I can.
Yes, you can. I just need your input, okay?
So getting help. So I feel like she looks at it as his input, his help is just as valid as getting help from his brother, from Daniel. But I feel like Sean looked at it as, well, if I can't levitate something, I can't help at all. And like, I like how she laughed at that. Like, of course you can help. Like, your help is just as valid. Okay, or better not interfere. So again, not Daniel. Sean looks at this as, it's interfering if it's not perfect.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Ah, there you go. Now, go stand over there. Daniel, you ready to start again?
Oh, yes. Hold on.
Daniel's like, I didn't stop. Not really.
So, for my next trick, I'd love to see if you can connect these three pieces. I've made a model of what I have in mind here, but go ahead and be the artist.
I love that she's encouraging this so much.
And we don't need a crane to lift this.
Fair.
Daniel can snap these together like block toys.
Hell yeah. Let's do this.
What am I doing now? Okay. Okay. There's... No, I need to look at this longer. Square, and then circle, and then whirligig with arms, and then something on top. Okay, square, circle, whirligig with arms, something on top. Okay, square, and then the circle, and then whirligig with arms and something on top. Okay, square, circle.
Maybe that's supposed to represent the Earth. Okay, Daniel. Can you...
Maybe
slam dunk the Earth ball onto the base?
Maybe it doesn't have to be as, like, representative. Fair. Don't, like, let's not get kids hurt or on, like, giant metal sculpture things. I noticed when we were talking to her that she's wearing flip-flops. I feel like closed-toed shoes are probably a great idea around giant metal sculptures. Just saying.
Oh, you should totally do like the model, but with the spider on top.
Can I make it my own? I feel like just making it how she made it, right? Isn't that what she wanted?
Let's throw on that spider.
There he goes.
You can lift a lot, Daniel. There's a part of me that wonders, doing this exactly how she wanted it done, is that also the perfectionism? Is that like perfectionism with art? I don't know. There's also a part of me that just doesn't, that wants to follow the game's instructions. So, you know, there's that.
Now, let's move Mr. Pancake's head onto the pedestal.
See, Sean.
I want pancakes. Maybe I'll have pancakes tomorrow. How does that look? Looks great. It's really big.
I feel like we're almost done.
Well, I think this is it. Looks good to me.
Only if the muse approves.
Not what I had in mind, but it's still cool.
You did a great job, Enano.
Well, Sean, Daniel, I think art might be in your family DNA. There's no escape. I think we're done for the day. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay.
That was fun. Joanne is so chill about her art.
How are you gonna move that anywhere other than your backyard?
That's cool, Joanne trusted me to help build her sculpture.
It's kind of like this.
Yeah, I've read about it.
This feels like a good place to stop. It feels like there's a lot in this town that we can look at. And this isn't even like near the wall that I imagine we're going to based on the clip. Sneak peek that we saw from the previous chapter. If I had to guess, I would guess that this chapter is going to have a little more to do with our mom, just because we've gotten little tidbits of information about her money problems. I could just be reading too much into it. It could be that it's just, I don't know, some background information about like what she's been doing or what she had been doing. That's valid too. If we can meet Joanne, though, I imagine we'll actually be meeting some of these other characters who live in this town of Away. I don't think we'll meet all, 30, but the people that we are going to deliver the telescope to, I imagine we'll full on be meeting them, have some conversation. I really wish I could eat more pancakes, but I'm going to stop here. I would love to hear your thoughts on the video and the game, and I'll see you next time.